It's not up to me. It's not my decision to make. When the big boss upstairs gives me an objective, gives me a task, it is my duty to follow through. Point blank, period. It's not my decision to make. So this is a warning that if you are gang stalking, if you are racially profiling people, if you are intentionally causing, homeless people malnourishment, if you are withholding finances from people when you know that it's time for you to pay up and show financial support, you're going to get consequences. You're going to get in a lot of trouble. You're going to get in trouble with the law. You are going to lose access to your finances. You are going to lose power. And it doesn't matter if you team up on whistleblowers or messengers, you are going to receive consequences. It does not matter what you do out of panic or desperation. It does not matter if it falls on deaf ears and you continue to do whatever it is that you want to do. Divine timing is going to catch up with you, and you're going to get bad karma. And depending on whatever warnings that you receive from the people around you that are observing your behavior, it could be a doctor, a lawyer, a judge, a police officer, it could be a parent, a family member. They are going to be the ones who ultimately deliver the news to you if you continue to ignore the message. They are going to be the ones to have to tell you that you've lost your job or that you have 3 months to live. It's not me. It's not my place. I'm simply here to send the message. That's it. I don't want to engage in any war tactics. I don't want to engage in the power struggle. The power struggle, that the power dynamic has nothing to do with why I'm delivering the message. I've been called upon, and I've gone long enough ignoring the call, trying to keep the peace, trying to keep my mouth shut, trying to be humble and stay out of people's business. So I don't know what's going on with your life. I don't know what you have done. But if you know deep down this message applies to you, please go to your ancestors or to the divine, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in. That's none of my business. But if you want clarification, go to your ancestors. If you know who to go to them. If you don't, just go to a higher power that you believe in for help to receive answers as to what you can do to change your behavior. Because if you continue to disrupt the peace on this planet, if you continue to attack the planet's natural resources, building construction sites in areas that are forbidden by the divine, you are going to get the death penalty. Okay, because we've already gone through these conversations in school about global warming. We've already talked about that. We already talked about how we need trees to breathe oxygen. We've already had that conversation. This is not a joke. It's not funny anymore. So people who are trolling on the internet and making jokes about how, they prefer Wi-Fi over oxygen, or they're going to have oxygen. There's a lot of people, I see a lot of people on social media not taking these situations seriously. Okay? And this is a pandemic for a reason. Okay? Because I hate to break it to you, but everybody on this planet, I'm not trying to cause sorrow. I don't want to cause despair. But the truth of the matter is, because of our mistakes, our human mistakes, okay, because of the pollution, because of cross-contamination, because of poor hygiene, because of unhealthy eating, because of certain things that we are doing that's harming the planet, it's causing us human beings to be sick. And if we continue down this path, in about 10 years, Everybody on this planet is going to be terminally ill. And that includes human trafficking, sex slavery, prostitution, child sexploitation. If we continue with this type of demonic behavior, every single person on this planet within the next 10, 15, maybe even 20 years is going to have a terminal illness. This is not a joke. This is a very serious situation. And I know that desperation sometimes will cause us to ignore the severity of it because, some of us have given up hope and some of us feel helpless and, we feel like, our addictions sometimes are the only things that comfort us when we don't have that hope. And I understand that. But the seriousness and the severity of the situation is that if we continue to ignore it, even to where we've all contracted a terminal illness, then we're going to be spiritually punished for this. Okay, so we're going to suffer. We're going to be miserable. We're going to continue to be enslaved. And if we continue to ignore the universal guidance, we are going to suffer eternal damnation. I know that there's people who do not believe in that, and I understand. Whatever you believe, that's what you believe. I'm not here to challenge that. But I've been given direct orders that if we continue down this path, not only are we going to destroy the relationship that we have with this planet, but we're going to experience eternal damnation in the afterlife. So some people call it Hades, some people call it hell, some people call it purgatory. Whatever name that you feel comfortable using, we're going to suffer that. It's never too late. If you're still alive today, you still have a chance to change your behavior. You still have a chance to change your mindset, to change the way you treat a person. I'm not trying to change anyone. If you don't want to change, that's your free will, that's your choice. I'm just here to remind you of the consequences if you don't change your behavior. Okay, I know that Rome wasn't built in a day. As long as it's in your heart and you're trying, and there's minor improvement step by step whenever it's called upon you to do so, it's okay. We're not perfect, so it's okay for you to make a mistake. It's okay for you to relapse. Overcoming addiction is the most difficult thing to do. Acknowledge when we are wrong is one of the most difficult things to do. So I'm not in a position to judge anyone. I understand. I'm just saying that if we continue to live life the way we've been doing, neglecting other people when they need our help, treating someone very poorly, being disrespectful, forcing people into abusive environments and toxic environments, and forcing a person to stay in an abusive relationship when they want to leave, holding somebody hostage, taking away their free will, dominating them when they don't want to be bothered. Things like that, behaviors that we can control. We can't control the actions of others that are outside of ourselves, but we can control our own actions. We can control our thought process. We can control how we display our emotions when faced with conflict. We can control that. It's hard at first, and sometimes it is nearly impossible to do. But if the effort is there, if there's some self-restraint, if there's some, little steps, baby steps, little improvement here and there, the universe will support you. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to not be perfect. But if you continue harassing people who are targeted individuals, if you have victimized someone in an abusive relationship and they chose to leave you, they chose to cut you off, and they chose to stop talking to you, please leave them alone. Abusing them, kicking them while they're down, is only going to put your life in danger. Please walk away. please let that person go. Or if it's multiple people, if you know that you did a group of people wrong and they decide that they don't want to talk to you anymore, please, for your sake, for your well-being, please leave them alone. Please allow them that opportunity to go no contact. Whether they ghost you, whether they communicate to you verbally that they don't want to partake in any interactions with you anymore, please do not let desperation take you down the path to hell. Please don't. Please. It's not worth it. Trying to prove a point to someone, getting negative fuel, you are going to have to pay restitution to the universe for that if you continue to obtain, excuse me, excuse me, I got a bad cough, excuse me. Please don't let pride and desperation cause you further misery and suffering, please. Please do not let desperation take you down that path to hell because you didn't want to leave somebody alone or because you enjoyed parasitic energy that only benefited you. Please, 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 for your soul. I'm begging for your soul's sake. Please do not take things face value. Meaning, if you have an edge in the power struggle and you're winning and you're dominating and you have all this money and you got the supply and you have the support, please do not let what's on the surface blind you from something that you may regret later on down the line. Please, for your well-being, for your health, please go to a higher power, receive the truth as to what you may be doing, and when you receive the truth, please don't take it personal. Please don't think that any and everybody is judging you and that the universe is just looking at you harshly and judgingly, because that's not the case. That will only happen if you intentionally continue with that behavior to where you're forced to receive judgment. But we all have been there. We've all made mistakes. So nobody is judging you. Nobody is all up in your business because people just don't care like that. So if that's what's stopping you, people's opinions, people really don't care. Other people, we all have our own problems. I'm not saying that people don't care about you. It's just, I'm saying that we all have our own problems. So if you feel like somebody's opinion of you, is what's stopping you or damaging you from doing the right thing and moving on, people really don't think like that. Because we all have our own problems. You know what I mean? We all do what we got to do to survive. And people just really are not all up in other people's business like that as much as people think. So I don't want you to be discouraged because you feel like the public eye is on you, or you feel like you've gone too far and you can't turn back now. I'm telling you now that if you're still alive, you still have a chance to make things right. And if you continue down this road of self-destruction, you're only making things worse for yourself. And trust me, when you receive karma and you wonder why it's coming at such a fast rate or why it's so much, why it's accumulated so much, it's because when you had the option to turn it around and make the right decision, you prolonged it. So when you prolong redemption, it just makes the karma longer and worse. So I'm asking for your soul's sake. Please stop human trafficking people. Let those people go free. Please let them go back to home to their families If you're holding somebody hostage that you know doesn't want to be around you, I know it's hard to hear. I know that rejection is a pain